Yo.
Yay.
Mic check 1, 2.
Mic check 3, 4.
5, 4, 6, 7.
8, 9, 10.
Boom.
So hi.
Let's run it. Yeah, my hair's starting to slick back.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about mine. It's been so long
So
since I've gotten a
proud.
haircut.
What's up?
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
This is going to be fun. Let's do this, yo.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so we have today on the Puente and Topete show, it is Chelsea Gonzales. She wears number 11 for both the Mexican national softball team and the Cleveland Comets of the National Professional Fastpitch League. First off, Chelsea, I just want to ask, how are you doing in these crazy times that we're living in right now? Everything going on.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. So I was actually coaching in Arizona, but I moved back to be with my family just during these like tough times. But it's just crazy how you can't go outside. I feel like you can barely go to the store and everything. But I'm just trying to still get that work in. So definitely taking practice in the backyard, kind of like the old days. With the ball and the net and off the tee and everything. So just trying to still get that work in, but definitely crazy. And, just hoping everyone is still safe.
As far as, because I know that you are a professional softball player. I'm not going to lie. This is my first time I even heard a league past the Olympics. Yeah. That is professionalism. So that's why I'm very excited, because we can learn about the league that you're in. Were you guys about to start training camp? Because I know you guys' season is supposed to start.
Yes. So we actually have no idea if the league is still going on because of everything that's happening. I know obviously with the MLB, NBA and all that stuff, those professional sports have stopped. So as of right now, we are still playing in the professional league. But we heard yesterday that the Canadian Wild is actually not participating in it. So then therefore there would only be 3 teams out of 5, I want to say. So as of right now, with my team, we're kind of all scattered around the states. So we just practice on our own. So like I said, our coaches, we actually just got off a Zoom call with the Mexico team. And we talked about like our hitting and stuff. So just like keeping up with our practices, just definitely being safe, obviously. But again, a bunch of us have the nets and stuff at the house. So we're just trying to keep our working out every day. But as of right now, we do not know if we're still going to be playing. They say that we are. So I'm just going to keep that mindset as if we are playing.
Cool. So last season was your first season in Cleveland, correct?
Yes.
So, because I have family in Cleveland. So my question is to you. How do you like Cleveland?
It's definitely different.
I believe it. Honestly, I believe it.
Yeah. So, but it was like one of the most fun summers I've ever had in my life. Just because we have the Mexico girls on our team. So you already have that atmosphere. You already have the connections with like your teammates, but we also added different players. It's like 3 girls from Ohio State. And so it was fun. It was definitely fun to get to know different girls and, obviously play against the best, with the Pride and the Bandits, especially, we're going to be playing against them, some of the girls in the Olympics. So definitely playing against those teams. And then we actually got to go, I forgot what it's called, but it was like a theme park in Ohio. It's like one of the biggest ones in the world.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's we went to that and it was a lot of fun. I'm a chicken when it comes to like roller coasters, but all my teammates, they went on all the big rides. So, I mean, I feel like there was definitely stuff to do, but Cleveland was fun. So it was fun.
So. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as what I want to know is, so there's only like a specific amount of teams in this league. And what I was doing my reading and my research, that they select whoever wins, majority of those players go straight to the international team, or how exactly does that all work? because a lot of your players right now, a lot of your teammates right now are part of the Mexico international team. So
Yes.
for someone that plays in Chicago or the Canadian Wilds, like they're a part of a certain international team. So how exactly does that all work? Like how does it all work?
So I feel like this is my experience with Mexico. They actually like recruit you kind of like as if you were going to college. Like, so once you're in college, they watch you like you play. And after my freshman year at Arizona State, the Mexico coach asked me if I wanted to play. And at that time, I wasn't really ready to play. It was after my freshman year, so I just kind of wanted to take a break and all that stuff. So after I graduated is when I I told the Mexico coach that I wanted to play. So I feel like you get recruited throughout college, and then with the USA team, same as well. And you can also try out. They invite you to try out. But with us and the Comets, our Mexican coach, he actually talked to the Comets coach, and then they collaborated together. And then same with the girls, like on the USA team, they also got to play in the different pro leagues. So I mean, they're the best of the best. So definitely with ours, I feel like our situation, it's different. And with the Australian, the Aussie Peppers and the Canadian Wild, same thing. We all had the goal of competing for the Olympic bound. So that's when, especially last year, is when they were like, okay, we want to be in the NPF so we can compete against the best, because initially we're going to be playing against each other.
Yeah.
So and then one of my teammates, she actually got traded to Pride, but she was on my team for a while. She's going to be playing with Italy. So she's going to go to she's going to the Olympics. Canada's going, and then Australia too. So I feel like we're all on different teams, but we're all competing at the Olympics. So I think that's awesome. And especially because we did play against them in the MPF. We didn't do as good as we wanted to, but when we went to the Olympic qualifier, we actually beat Canada. So I feel
cool.
the NPF prepared us for what we needed to do at the qualifier. And even when we were playing against them in the MPF, we didn't win, and our coach just kept saying, you know what, we're going to beat them when it matters. And we actually beat them in Canada in front of their home crowd. And
Dang.
It was pretty crazy because some of the girls on the Puerto Rican team, they also were in the MPF. And again, we didn't do that good, but we ended up beating them in the qualifiers. So again, just this whole summer has just been preparing for what we were going to compete for at the end of the day. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we were the underdogs in the qualifier.
That's actually pretty cool.
We were definitely it was, everyone was talking that it was going to be Puerto Rico and Canada coming out of the qualifiers. So we were definitely the underdogs, and, we proved to everybody that, we came out and we wanted that the most. So it definitely, all that hard work, the summer in Cleveland, worked out perfectly.
It's not the best weather in Cleveland, but
it's hot.
Yeah, I know. It's dry, humid, hot.
Yeah, it was not
above,
fun, but
until it gets to the. Have you ever experienced Cleveland winter?
Nope, but I heard about it.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I definitely heard about it. Yep.
So the way that the Olympics works is that if you have either A, you're born there, B, your parents are from there, or C, your grandparents are from there, how exactly did you have that connection with being a part of the Mexico Olympic team?
Grandparents. Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Where are your grandparents from?
Guadalajara.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and it's pretty cool because, you get to talk about it with them, and, they're so proud. And in the beginning, it was a big thing for me, but I didn't put into perspective who else, would be proud that I would do that. And especially my grandparents, they were just like, you need to do this, and all this stuff. And I'm like, of course I'll do it. And then they just kept saying, we're just so proud of you. Not only are you making us proud over here, but the family in Mexico. So it's a real honor, to be honest.
Was that something you kind of grew up always aspiring to be, like an Olympic athlete?
Honestly, As I was growing up, I obviously, have heard of the USA team, that's a big thing. Growing up, I, would always watch them. I really didn't think of any other countries, to be honest, just because, they went to UCLA, they went to Washington, they went to all the big Pac-12 schools that I always dreamed of going to. So after my freshman year, when I was asked to be a part of Mexico, I was just like, like I was out of USA. So it definitely like turned the tables, but definitely growing up, my one goal actually just was to get a full ride scholarship to go play anywhere, to be honest. Like that was the big thing growing up, working my butt off to get that free education from my parents who sacrificed every day pretty much of, going to practice with me on the weekends, not having a lot of free time. So that was definitely a big thing. But as I got older, you know, that thought of, competing for the Olympics one day definitely came into my mind. And, the last 2 years, that's been like the goal. That's been like the dream. So, definitely growing up and becoming more mature about the sport, definitely that Olympic mindset kicked in.
Obviously, this will be your first actual Olympic ever, but
Yeah.
since with what we got going on right now, obviously it's horrible times. Um, I read that they're going to postpone it to 2021.
Yeah.
You guys are still going to be like training for the Olympics as if it was to be happening in a couple weeks, right? Or a couple
Yes.
months, right?
Mm-hmm. So, like I said before, like we're practicing as if we're playing in the MPF. So definitely, I'm actually grateful that it's a whole year from now, just because um, I just got this job in Arizona as an assistant coach. So I kind of started to put my I was putting everything into the school, and so I wasn't not slacking off on my workouts, but not putting in my 110% that I needed to.
Uh,
So I am very glad that, I get that next year so I can really kick in a gear. But definitely, and to save money for it because it's expensive,
yeah, I mean that's
especially with my
true.
family. I
I
want my whole family to go, so it's like it's expensive. But definitely, we're all separated. We actually don't come together until like a week before like a tournament starts, and then we'll start practices. But we're all adults. He expects us to be practicing, and we've been through the college experience, so we all know what we have to do in order to practice and prepare. So
cool, awesome.
You mentioned you
Go
mentioned
ahead,
that
Max.
you're a assistant coach, right, for South Mountain Community College.
yes.
What persuaded you to go the coaching route, if you don't mind me asking?
um I honestly have only had one other job and I just like worked like part-time like at a gym, but it's just softball's really all I have so much passion for it. And so I feel like I'm still young, so I could still educate young women, especially like at a community college where it's like it's just 2 years and then we can, take you to that next level. And I really look under Brittany Mata. She's my head coach, and she went to ASU as well. And she won 2 national championships over there. So she knows the game. She knows what she's talking about. So honestly, for me, again, still being young, just that coaching perspective, like it makes me understand as well, like a player as well. Like I understand both sides, and I can take what I do coaching, I could take it on the field as well. So I'm still learning. Like I'm 24 years old, and still there's sometimes where I don't get why we do that play, but then again, from a coaching perspective, I can see the different angles, and I can ask questions. And then if I'm ever in a game and that situation comes up, I've been there, so I know and I understand it. So coaching for me is just a way of learning new things. And and the girls I have, they're awesome, and they do look up to me, but I also look up to them too. So I understand, I was there one day, and so I get where they're coming from, and they're a great group of girls, so I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Awesome, and I assume that you are all having like Zoom conference calls for the upcoming season as well.
Yeah,
So.
it's crazy just trying to get all, like, because obviously we want the same girls back next year because they get the extra year of eligibility. But then you also want them to succeed. You want them to move on to the next level. So you can't be selfish, but you have to understand. So we just talk to them, especially the seniors, well, the sophomores, we talk to them and just see what they want to do. But yeah, definitely Zoom calls, I always say they're crazy. They're just crazy fun. I'm the type of person that I like to have fun on the field. I'll be serious at times when I need to be serious, but at the end of the day, you play the game because you love it. And, when you're so stressed out, you don't do good. So you just need to have fun and, yeah, just have fun with your teammates.
What would you say is your most favorite memory on the field? Because you've had so many amazing memories just going through all of your career stats.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I felt like when we qualified, I know that's like the obvious thing, but it's just, I feel like all my hard work, like playing for 21 years, because I started playing when I was 3. So like playing for 21 years, at that moment when Dallas struck out the batter, like it's just, you just feel like a sense of relief just because you've made it. You made it to the highest level that you can ever make it in your life, like for softball. And it's just, you've worked so hard, you like have all those practices and weights that you like probably don't want to go to, but you do because you want to be at the best. And I think for me that moment, I just started crying. And again, like I said, we were in Canada, so it was all the Canada fans.
That's
and then there's like a little portion of the Mexico fans, and they were just loud, and they were the loudest people. So it was awesome. And just seeing that, I called my parents right when I got into the dugout, and I FaceTimed them because they weren't there. But yeah, it was just awesome. I think that moment, just running and hugging my teammates, like you think we won like the World Series, but again, like we won we won a berth to the Olympics. So
that's a big deal
huge.
though, for sure.
Yeah. So definitely that. Yeah. So definitely that.
So kind of like the same question Alex asked, but in a different way. Where is the best place that you played at? Because I know you played at a lot of places, including Canada, overseas. Best place you played at? Like who has the best stadium?
Trying to think. I'm trying to think like back to like Pac-12. I mean, we played at LSU. LSU was pretty nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so LSU, or to me, Washington has always been beautiful. I actually really wanted to go to Washington. Washington was my number one. And then, I went there and it just wasn't, meant to be. So, but I would have to say, obviously, ASU to me.
I was about to ask.
Yeah.
I was about to ask.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the obvious one. But if I had to pick other schools, yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to say ASU. I wasn't.
Yeah, so that's why I said the other places.
Hey, that's on you.
Yeah. Definitely
Cool.
ASU. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So you're home now. Are you home in Arizona or are you home in where you're from?
I'm from California, so I'm home in California. Mm-hmm.
Cool. How has it been being home? Because obviously with what you got going on, I assume that you hardly ever home. So I'm guessing it's been nice. It's been relaxing in some ways, I hope, to you.
Yeah. I actually, so I only had like about an hour or so to pack to come home because in Arizona, it's sad to say, but like it's not as crazy as it is in California. Like California, it's like crazy. Like my mom was telling me how there's like lines out the door at stores, and I was in Arizona and I was like no, there's not. Like it was just, it's totally different. Like it was weird. So she told me one day, she's like, okay, like you need to pack and like come home like now. And I was like, okay. So I just packed up everything and I came home, didn't even pack a lot. And I've been here for like a month and something days. And I just drove back probably like a couple days ago. And I drove for one day just because I packed some more stuff. But being in Arizona, again, just like everyone is just like, it's not like they're not taking it seriously, but it's just, it's so, I feel like in a calmer way than over here. So being in Arizona, it was very calm. And then coming back here, it's just crazy. But obviously, you know, I was expecting to be out there for softball because we're in season. We would be in season right now for college. So it is fun to be back. And especially because with Mexico, we were having all these little trips in between. So I definitely wouldn't have been home till probably after the Olympics if we were going to be doing the Olympics. So yeah, so I wouldn't have been home till after that. So it's good to be home. So
Travel life, yo. Just
yeah,
travel life
I
of
know.
an athlete. Dang,
I
that's
know.
crazy.
Yeah. So like when we go to travel, because I went to Australia and I went to Japan this year with Mexico, and every time I get a Lyft driver, they're like, oh, like, where are you going? Like, I'm dropping you off at the airport. I'm like, oh, I'm going to Australia. And they're like, oh, you're going to Australia? And I'm like, oh yeah, I play softball. And they're like, oh, okay. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to Japan. And they're like, you're going to Japan? I'm like, yup, like thinking it's all normal, but you know, you have to put in perspective, people just don't go there during the week.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, definitely a lot of travel. So
Wow. So how many teams are in the National Girls Fast Pitch? Well, yeah, Fast Pitch league that you're in. Because I saw there's 6, but then you said that the team that dropped out. So as far as like season goes and like tournaments and championships, like to break it, does your league run as a regular season like the MLB would when there's just a playoff and like basically like the World Series? Does that make sense? Like, I hope I'm making sense.
yes, it would be. So yeah, so last year we didn't really do that good, but yeah, so we would definitely play. So they would come to our stadium, play three games, and then we would go to their stadium and then play the 3 games as well. But definitely I think they just had like the top 2 teams at the end of the day to compete for a championship, and they would do the 3-game series. So so that's how we are right now. But like I said, like 2 of the teams have dropped out. So
Yeah.
there would be 3 of us left. So I have no idea what to expect. Cause
Oh boy.
I mean, I don't know if they would want us to travel to Cleveland, cause then we would have to travel back to California to play the commotion. So it's just, it's definitely, I have no idea what to expect. So
That's a travel.
Yeah.
Just doing that back and forth, like you go from California back to Cleveland, and then you find out you have to go back to California, and then you have to go. Damn.
To Chicago, yeah, everything. Yeah.
How many flights were you averaging a week? On like
I don't even know, to be honest. I really have no idea. I want to say, if I remember correctly, I want to say we bussed to every place.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
You bust from Cleveland to California?
No, because the California team is new this year. Yeah. Oh, no, I would cry. Yeah, no. No, they would definitely probably have to fly us. Yeah, definitely have to fly us. But yeah, I think we did bus everywhere. So
Wow.
Long drives to build that team building and camaraderie.
Exactly. But it's, you know, it's the grind. So.
All right. So now that you're quarantining, obviously you're not doing anything. What have you been doing? Because obviously you said you've been training, but aside from like sports-wise, like what have you been doing?
Do you want to know the truth, or I'm just kidding?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been sitting watching Netflix, you and everyone in the
join
world
the club.
are doing the same thing. So, yeah. I mean, hey.
Yeah. I feel like I try and sleep in as much as I can so that the day goes by faster, to be honest. So I'll probably wake up at like 9:30 to 10:30-ish every morning, drink coffee, put on some Keeping Up with the Kardashians, watch them, and then I'll try, you know, I still have to work like over the computer, so I'll be in like meetings, like Zoom calls, and with my college in Arizona, be doing that. And then I'll try and work out around like 5. And then after that, I'll probably hit like at least 100 balls. And then I'll come inside and just hang out with my mom. And we'll watch like Grey's Anatomy. But actually with the Zoom calling, like I've been talking to my friends a lot, like pretty much every day. I'll try and call them and stuff like that, have a glass of wine, like a little wine night. So
Yo, it sounds.
but that's, yeah.
Yeah, me and my buddies did that one day. Not with the
Yeah.
wine though, but
Yeah. I'm of
Not with
age,
the
so I
wine, no.
can.
I'm a beer person, I'm not a wine. But my mom tried getting me to drink wine. It's hard. Like I'll go wine tasting, but I just wouldn't drink it straight up.
Yeah. I feel like, it's just.
Most of them are too sweet for me. What's your favorite wine?
I don't have a favorite wine because I rarely drink it. So it's just what we had at the house. Me, I'm like,
Gotcha.
I like beer. So yeah, I'll drink that.
So what's your favorite beer then?
Either Modelo or Modelo.
Yeah.
I'm just
Hey.
kidding.
Solid choice.
Thank you. Yep.
Going back to the.
Actually.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah. I got one question actually. Okay, so I work at a park that oversees a lot of softball. So we're part of the Chino Girls Fastpitch, which is a huge sports organization for the city of Chino. What message, if someone were to be watching right now, like a young girl to be watching and seeing you where you at, what message do you have for that one little girl who wants to do exactly what you're doing?
I would just say, first of all, just keep working hard. If you really have that passion for playing and you want to, compete to be for the best of the best, just, keep putting in that work, because at the end of the day, if you think you're doing something, like for instance, like I hit at least 100 balls, there could be a girl hitting 200 balls, so you always have to keep that mindset of, keep competing, keep working hard. And to be honest, I think, as a student athlete that I was, to do good in school. Because at the end of the day, if you want a full ride scholarship, if you don't have the grades to do it, you can be the best player in the world, but they will not offer you unless you do good in school. So definitely you're a student before you're an athlete. So I would definitely just say keep doing good in school and always thank your parents. At the end of the day, like they are the ones that are helping you to get to where you want to be. And that was always my thing, that I worked my butt off to get them a free education, not just me, but, they didn't have to pay a dime for my education. They didn't have to pay a dime for college. So it's just at the end of the day, I'm working for them too. So it's like I'm working for them. So, but yeah, just, to keep that passion. I know it's hard, you probably want to go hang out with your friends on the weekend, but once you're at the collegiate level, that won't matter because you worked your butt off to get to where you are now.
Facts.
Yeah.
I felt that, man. Damn.
Yeah.
I feel so inspired right now. I'm not gonna lie, that's gonna get me through the week.
Good. That's what I'm here for.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we all could use some motivation right now. Yeah. Everyone could use a little bit of motivation, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad.
Oh. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've been all over the place. Have you met any famous athletes during your journey as a softball player?
I mean, I feel like the USA team is definitely all famous, playing against them. Like, I remember we went to Peru and I hit against Monica Abbott. And even that, I was just like, oh my God, it's Monica Abbott. Like, it's scary. But, at the end of the day, you're inspired. And she probably, she probably thinks the same thing about us. Like, oh my gosh, these are like Team Mexico. You don't think like that, but it's like, I grew up watching her play and it's just crazy that like I'm playing against her. But, other than softball, I met Brandon Crawford. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, my first year at ASU, we went to a game and I met him on the field.
Oh,
Who else?
damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
For spring training, you know, Justin Upton for the Angels,
Mhm.
Go Angels. He signed my ball. So, I mean, I kind of met him, but, you know, it's just, yeah.
When you're watching baseball, do you have a baseball team that you like?
Angels.
Yeah.
I respect
Yeah,
that.
Los Angeles Angels. You know, I grew up, you know, going to those games. Like, I have pictures of when I'm like 5 years old in the stands. So
I respect
it's
that.
just, yeah.
I respect that. I
Kinda
mean, I'm
my
a
thing.
Dodger fan, but I mean, I respect that.
yeah.
If you've been growing as birth since as an Angel fan, I respect
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot
It
of
is what
people
it
are
is.
like, you're not like a Dodger fan. I'm like, I mean, my parents are like diehard Angel fans. So, and like my family is all Angel fans. So it's like, but I mean, I love the stadium. I love the atmosphere. Like, I love going to the games. Like, I'm just that type of person. So,
Yeah,
I
their
mean,
stadium's
I
pretty
love
nice.
going. Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm. And we went to a spring training game, like right before everything went crazy. So I'm glad I got to see them play in Arizona. So it was good.
Cause like, just like sitting here right now, I know we're really do as far as just take it day by day, but being here, sitting down, actually, like I tried like telling my mom, like, Mom, an Olympic athlete, like I could be from a small country, just the word Olympic athlete, it rings bells like
Yeah.
easily. Like whenever like you hear the word like, oh, Olympic star, Olympic athlete from Turkey, and they have like 5 people, they're still an Olympic athlete. But that's why
Yeah.
sitting here talking to you, like Olympic softball player from Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't get any better than that. So this is pretty dope. I kind of starstruck in a little way,
Oh.
in a small way, because it's an Olympic athlete, yo. Like,
Yeah.
come on now, how can you not be amped up for that?
That's so funny. It's okay. I don't get treated like that. I still have to do chores around here and everything.
Hey,
I'm literally
it's
like
all
a
good.
regular
Hey,
person. Like my mom
it's
is
all
like,
good. You
"What?
still got that
You?"
title. Nobody can take that away from you.
True. Yeah.
So hey, you have that. You got that too.
Yeah.
So there's actually 2 other former ASU alumni on your Olympic team, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what's that
Yeah.
bond been like, just to have ASU seem to, always kind of be that special bond throughout your career?
It's honestly the best thing ever because me and Sashel, we came in as freshmen together and we graduated together. That's like my girl. I was even her roommate after college when we were grad assistants for ASU. Like we are really, really close. Like that's my girl. So, you know, after, like I said, after my freshman year, I chose not to play. She chose to play. So she's been on the team way longer than I have, but you know, she's our team captain for Team Mexico. So it's pretty cool. But, you know, that was, you know, she was my catcher. I was her shortstop. I like for Mexico, I'm at second base now, but still like, we still have that bond where, you know, like if she's bothering or something's bothering her, like I can go up and talk to her about it. She can talk to me. We can make adjustments, everything. Like, it's just like, it's a really good bond. And then with Dallas, you know, she literally like, I try not to like show it, but she's like one of my idols. So, you know, when I committed to play at ASU, it was when they won it in 2011. So I remember I committed in November, and then when they were playing in June and they won it, you know, she pitched the last strikeout. So that was like awesome to see. And I was like, oh, like I'm going to school. I get to play with her because I played with her when she was a senior. So then when we qualified, it was awesome because she struck out the last batter, just like she did in the World Series. And she did the same reaction. She was like jumping and she went to go hug Sashel. And it's just, yeah, she's like, I think of her like as like royalty. I'm like, oh my God, but like she's my teammate. So it's kind of weird, but you know, she's a good person. And it's just, you know, you love to hang out with her. She's funny. She's like an awkward funny. Like she does like awkward things, and it's hilarious. But yeah, definitely playing with those two is fun. And then I also play with girls who went to my rival college. So playing with them,
U of A.
yeah, playing with them is funny because, you know, we always throw up the pitchforks. They throw up the Wildcats. So it's funny. But one of my best friends on the team is actually Taylor McQuillan, who was a pitcher at U of A. And so like we always joke about like whose school's better and all this stuff. So we have all different colleges, but again, like it's just such a great group of girls. So it's fun.
Not gonna lie, whenever I get a chance to watch softball games, I find myself getting more into it as opposed to watching baseball for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it might be the cheering on the sides, maybe, but just watching softball games, like just being there as opposed to watching on television, two different things. Because I remember when Mount Sac made state championship and I was watching the state championship on my phone, like I still felt the same excitement, but it's not the same. So as far as like the cheer goes, because that brings the excitement, because I've asked this to numerous softball players, so I'm going to ask this to you. Who comes up with it? Is it just something that is off the top of you guys' head? Or is it just one of those things that you guys practice game after game?
So when I came in as a freshman at ASU, they always had this opening cheer. Like the first batter goes up to bat and they do this. It's like an ASU cheer. So they've done it like traditions. Like it's been going on for years. So I feel like it does come with tradition. But then again, like if her number is like 11, we'll come up with like a cheer to go with that. Like we try to always be talking in the dugout because we love baseball, but like attaboy, like that's not fun. Like, you know, like you can keep saying that, but again, it's just not fun. And, you know, it gets like super quiet and you're just like, can you even talk here?
That's why I think
that's why
I enjoy it.
Yeah, we always try and like be really loud like for the games because again, like we're not only cheering on our batter, but we're also like trying to intimidate the pitcher so that she gets frustrated and flustered and, you know, she starts messing up because it does happen. There are pitchers who don't do good under pressure and, you know which pitcher it is and you try and just mess up their routine. So definitely that. But again, like, and I'm not just saying like my team, but I feel like at ASU, like the goal the whole time in the dugout was just to have fun. And it would be cool when like the camera would just like scatter towards us and you could just see us like jumping up and down because you don't want a dugout that's like not cheering for you when you're up to bat. That's no fun. That's like my pet peeve is like when a batter goes up and no one's cheering. I'll just like yell like, yo, like we need to cheer for her. Like she's up there by herself basically. And if you, as a batter, you hate that. You hate not hearing like your teammates. So
that's why I like because I have a friend that played numerous seasons, a couple seasons for Tennessee, then she transferred and played for Long Beach State. So when she got to come back home, like I was very thrilled because I can finally go watch someone play softball. Because I don't mind watching Mount Sac, but like just the D1 level, just like that level, it's fun. It's like especially like you were saying, like how when someone goes up to bat, nobody was cheering, but like when one of my friends would come up to bat, no idea who they were, that whole crowd would literally jump up and they'll be down by like 3. Like, whoa, this is really a different atmosphere compared to the boys level, like the men's level. Like you guys is interactive with the fans and you guys interaction with your players. It's cool. I love it. It's fun. That's what makes going to softball games fun, in my opinion. So
yeah. I know. We love to like interact with like the fans as well. Like, you know, we would say like go, and then we would point at the crowd, and they would yell Devils, go, like it was like a lot of fun. And then you know, obviously Oklahoma, like Boomer, Sooner, like you know, they would be yelling that. So it's just you get the crowd involved too. So it's like they're not just sitting there, but they're having fun as well. So definitely that. Yeah. Dang, I really miss softball, like college softball. I want to go back.
I know. This has been fun. Yeah. Like, this is definitely is a highlight of the week at this point. Because I mean, as far as the only thing that I got going on is waiting for a package to arrive, and I guess that's the only excitement thing that's happening this week.
That's awesome.
Hey, I'm showing me a little joy, yo. Yeah. Showing me joy. Sunny
Chelsea,
outside. We're gonna go outside.
Chelsea, what's your walk-up song when you go up to bat? What was it going to be this year?
What was my walk? I haven't had a walkout song since college, and it was "All the Way Up" by Fat Joe.
Okay.
Nothing could stop me. I'm
Yeah,
all the way up. And then
Good song.
I loved Selena, so it was my second song was "Bitty Bitty Bum Bum."
Hey, hey.
So I got to pick two songs, but I remember for pro, I think it was gonna be just "Going Bad" by Meek Mill, and then "Best on Earth" by Russ has been my song, like when I work out and stuff. So I wanted to do that if we were gonna play in the MPF, but I don't know yet. So
Good songs. Some good
Yeah.
song choices.
Thank
Definitely
you.
not hating now.
I like to play songs where it's like it like pumps me up. Like I don't know. That's
Gets
just
you in that like, yeah, I'm the shit mood.
yeah. I try. I don't like. I'm the most humble person ever. So it's like I just try and like get like a good beat going, so I can just. Like,
I got you.
Hey, we all have our ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Oh.
actually, anything else, my guy?
Really quick, Chelsea, I know that your sister, you have an older sister who I believe played for the same high school, Rosary High School in I believe Fullerton, and then she played for Mount Sac for I believe 1 year. What was it like growing up and watching her, and like how did she influence how your career ended up progressing?
Yeah, so she got me into softball because she started playing, and then my parents started to see like how she was enjoying it. So then that's when I started playing when I was 3. But she was always that older figure that I would look up to. So definitely in high school, to me, she was like the star. She was like the star player, and I'm not just saying that because she was my sister, but like if you look at the numbers, like she really was like one of the best players to play there. So definitely going into Rosary as a freshman, I was definitely intimidated by that. I just wanted to try and make varsity, but I also would try not to embarrass her. But me and her always talk about it. Like till this day, she would always tell me like she was the hitter and I was the fielder. So like I always looked up to her hitting and she always looked up to me fielding, just because, I felt like I was more better at fielding than she was better at hitting. So definitely, we had like those separations of like talents. So just seeing her hit to me, I would be very inspired because she was our leadoff hitter. She would get the job done every single time. And it's just like, you can always count on her. And then after Mount Sac, she stopped playing because of an injury. But even then, like when I played at ASU, she would always come to the games, always was supportive. And, you can never ask for that because, she didn't have to go. She didn't have to make the drive 5 hours to go watch me play, but she did because she was a very supportive like sister. And even now, like she's going to Tokyo, like she wants to go. And it's just like, at the end of the day, she helped me get to where I am. And she probably doesn't even know that, but she did. Like she did help me to get to where I am today because I would always just look up to her and I would want to be as good as she is. I would want to, I watched her like hit and what she would be doing and what I needed to do. So she definitely inspired me. And like now that I have a little sister, so hopefully, she's playing softball too, but I hope she continues to keep playing. And I would want her to just keep working hard and just to hopefully get a scholarship to a good school and just compete at the collegiate level.
Are you coaching up your little sister right now as you're all stuck at home?
Yeah, it's actually been hard though because like I said, when I was in college I was never home, so I did miss 4 years of her growing up. So that was definitely hard. And me being in Arizona this year, this was her first year in high school. So it's like, I do feel bad because I feel like I've been missing a part of her life. But, when I go to hit in the backyard now, she's out there with me and, she's telling me like, okay, what do I need to do with my swing? What do I need to do fielding wise? And it's good also because me and her play the same position now. So we definitely work on like sidearm together. We work on different plays together. So she I feel like she's definitely enjoying it. I hope she is, but I like having her to practice with, because, you know, like I go back to the basics with her, which, you know, sometimes us being older, we don't go back to the basics. We just do what we want to do. And it's like, no, we have to remember how to, you know, pick the arm slot, get a ground ball, like looking into the glove. Like we forget that just because we've been playing it for so long. But, you know, she reminds me that I need to get back to basics. So. Mm-hmm.
Is she attending same high school as you and your two sisters?
No, she's going to another high school.
What?
So she got a choice to go to another high school, so she chose not to
Hey,
go
I
to
mean-
Rosary. So
Hey, all
I
right.
mean,
yeah, she's the youngest. She's the baby, so she can run this whole house.
the babies always can.
Yep.
Hey,
So
hey. Trying to think if I have one other question before we go our separate ways and basically continue doing Netflix and whatnot.
yep. Netflix and chill.
Oh, I do have one other question. So with the softball Olympics, how many of the teams compete besides just you, USA, Australia, Canada? And I can't think of them, but is it all the countries, most of the countries, or just like a select few, if that makes sense?
There's 6 teams that are going to the Olympics to go play. Like they qualified. So those 6 teams, it's us, USA, Japan, Australia, Canada, and Italy. So those 6 teams get to go. USA has their roster already set. Japan, I feel like they don't have their roster already set, just because I know there's an A and B team. So they definitely have to cut their roster down. But I feel like the people who qualified for the other teams are going. I could be wrong though, because I know USA had tryouts. I just don't know if the other teams are having tryouts. I know obviously a lot of people are trying to, you know, try out for the teams. Like for us, like we have girls trying to try out for the Mexico team. And so we don't know who's officially going to be on the rosters for all the teams, but I'm guessing the people who qualified.
So if somebody would want to try out, is that like one of those invitation things that a coach approaches a player and say, hey, I got something from an Olympic team. They asked for you to go try out. You should go try out. Is that how the tryouts work? Or
We haven't had a tryout yet for our team. I know people have contacted our Mexico coach to try out. I don't know if he's taking them into consideration or not. I know he's like loyal to us, and you know, we're the ones who qualified. But I know for a fact, you know, obviously with USA, there's so many people that want to try out for the team, so they had to hold tryouts. But I know we can only obviously have a certain amount of people on the team, like when we go to Tokyo. And since it's a totally different year from now, it's sad to say, but you just never know what's going to happen in a year. You never know.
That's true.
So it's like, so I feel like they do have to keep their options open just in case, but I know like they for sure want to stay loyal to the people who qualified. Because at the end of the day, if they can qualify, you know, like they can compete. So it's just at the end of the day, you just never know. So I'm just gonna keep training.
Cool. It's cool.
I'm just gonna keep
That helps
practicing.
me out.
Yeah.
Gives me a better understanding of exactly how this whole process works. Because I mean, I don't really think about how this process works until now. Now I do, which is I feel
it's a lot.
I learned something today. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's just, and it's kind of crazy, just like with everything going on. We never know. We just literally never know. So.
That's true. All you gotta do is just take it day by day.
Yep, exactly.
I can't think of anything else. What about you, Alex? You got anything on you?
I don't right now. We're good. Thank you again, Chelsea.
That makes me
yeah.
of course.
Again,
Thanks
Chelsea.
for having me. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right, stay safe.
You too, and
You too.
Do you mind if we shout you out on Twitter really quick so people can go follow you?
Yeah, of course.
It is at C Gonzales 112.
11-2. Yep.
11-2. C Gonzales 11-2 to follow Chelsea. Gonzales, of the Mexican national softball team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Of course. I'll just say bear down because I am a U of A alum. So.
Oh my God, go Devils. I should have never agreed. Should have been like, no, I'm not doing it. Dang it. All right. Well,
let's go.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for this. This was a good laugh. This was a good hour. I needed this.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Stay safe, guys.
You too.
Thank you
Take care. Right?
Bye.
Later. Well, my guy, not gonna lie, that was fucking fun, dude.
That was great, dude.
That was awesome, man. That was awesome. Wow. Well, to overview, I believe that was a very great interview. I learned a lot about the Olympics as far as like training goes, as far as what their schedule's like. That was loads of information that if you are a softball player or a fan or just a spectator, definitely with another capital, definitely all caps, check this out. Trust me. Check this.
I think Jordan cut out.
But obviously we still got real sports that happened. What's that?
Sorry, you cut out a little.
Oh, I forgot what I said. But
you're good.
what did you think about it, bro? Like, what's your thoughts on this?
I learned so much. You like how I dropped that little bear down at the end? I knew if I said at the beginning, it might not have been good.
I was like,
I was about to bring over. I haven't set up my little like behind me setup for this whole webcam thing yet. But I have a football. I have a University of Arizona football that I won in a raffle, and it's got Rich Rodriguez's signature on it.
Should have busted out. Just like be like, hey.
I don't know. I'll put that on my desk when it's ready. But no, I learned a lot about professional softball that I didn't know, because you don't really hear about a professional league past NCAA collegiate sports more often than not. And I think it's just really cool that there is avenues for girls who are playing professional softball to play professionally. How else would the Olympics? And I know they only brought back the Olympics for softball for this year. They're not sure if they're bringing it back for 2024.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an Olympic sport from 2008 to 2016. So it's kind of unfortunate with everything going on, but right now it's postponed. So I think there is that light at the end of the tunnel, that it's only postponed until next year.
It's not fully canceled. Just it's postponed to another year. I mean, it's not like we're not gonna get the Olympics.
Yeah, and like Chelsea said, she's gonna take advantage and just train and continue to get better this whole upcoming year for it.
I mean, hell, even basketball players are participating in horse games. Speaking of the horse game, did you watch that? Check that out.
Yeah, I did. Did you watch it? Yeah, I watched like the highlights.
What's your thoughts on it? I couldn't find one glimpse of highlights, man. I don't have cable, so that's why.
It wasn't great. I don't know what it was. It wasn't great. There was one, Zach LaVine versus Paul Pierce was really funny.
Really?
Yeah, but only because Paul Pierce was absolutely horrendous. He couldn't make layups. And Zach LaVine was shooting him out the gym, off the court.
You gotta think about it. The truth, been retired for a couple of years now. Next year he gets inducted to the NBA Hall of Fame. Well, he finally gets his name up there, but potentially could be inducted. But I mean, that guy's been out for a while, dude. And then you got Zach LaVine, who is about his season away from reaching his peak, his prime.
You think so?
Zach LaVine is on his way to reach his prime, bro. Stay tuned. You're gonna hear this right now from me. Zach LaVine is reaching his prime.
See, I don't think the question is
next season.
I don't think the question with Zach LaVine is whether or not he's getting better, because he's obviously shown that he's getting better every year. The question is will he still be with the Bulls by the time he hits that prime?
No, they won't. No, he won't.
Right.
Check this out. No, here's the thing, though. I know the
What?
Bulls hired a new GM, fired the old one, hired a new one. So the question is, what type of moves are the Chicago Bulls going to do? Anthony Davis is from Chicago.
Don't even
We
say
heard.
it.
We
Don't
heard,
even
we
say it.
heard.
Don't even say it.
Not even going to say it, but I'm just
Don't
saying.
even say
Zach
it.
LaVine wants to play. Check this out. He said he wants to play with LeBron James. He said that at All-Star when it was in Chicago on the jump. We can find footage of that. He said the one player he wants to play with is LeBron James. Where's LeBron James right now, man?
In LA.
Where's LeBron James playing for right now?
Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Lakers?
Where's Anthony Davis at right now?
In LA with the Lakers.
And a homegrown native from Chicago wouldn't mind sticking around for a couple years. LeBron could do a little resting. Zach LaVine, his contract is almost up in Chicago. Boom.
You think
Yes,
so?
sir. I think I might have established.
You think he's coming to the Lakers?
I'm pretty certain he's not staying in Chicago, though.
Oh, well, that's not the same as saying he's going to the Lakers.
Yeah, I didn't say he was coming to LA. I'm just saying he's not staying in Chicago. Zach LaVine needs to. I want the guy. He deserves it, dude. How do you go from Minnesota to Chicago and not have a winning season on any of those teams? And you are.
What about D'Angelo Russell?
You about to hit your prime. That's AED status right there.
What about D'Angelo Russell? He went from LA, never had a winning season, from LA to Brooklyn, right?
Hey, he made playoffs for Brooklyn.
He made the playoffs for Brooklyn.
Don't give him that.
And then after Brooklyn, he went to Minnesota. Played bad there.
Played bad, bro. He didn't even finish the season.
Well, he didn't. Not that he played bad. Well, not that he played bad, but his teams never won. So Minnesota, they weren't winning. Then he goes to Golden State, and they weren't really winning. And then now, I mixed that up. He went to Golden State and then Minnesota.
Yeah, man.
Bro, I missed the NBA.
Boys,
okay.
A lot of the young boys who are about to reach their prime, their team isn't helping them. Booker's already he's in his prime. Easily. He's already in his prime.
Yeah.
He's already in his prime.
Sad state.
Ice Trey is about to reach his prime very shortly. Luka is about to reach his prime very shortly. I mean, Atlanta does have a player. Just needs to rest, needs a full season to rehab his knee, and then boom, he's good. Hey, once Atlanta gets another player for Trey and Capella, jeez, man. Vince Carter retires. They got somebody to replace him. Atlanta could be scary, bro. We haven't seen Atlanta do good since Jeff Teague was there. Easily. Yeah, bro.
4 or 5 All-Stars. It was a long time
man.
ago. Yeah, I remember that year.
And that Atlanta
I was watching that from my little 1-bedroom apartment at the University of Arizona.
Oh, really?
That's right. Really quick, Jordan. The only really other thing that happened this week, Tom Brady went on the Howard Stern show. We didn't really talk about that.
The whole thing.
I did not watch the whole thing. What did you think as someone who watched the whole thing?
I'll shoot you the link.
You already sent me the link, and I have the link saved. I haven't. I fell asleep in the middle of it, so I need to re-pick back.
Hey, when you're stocking up, man, and you're at work, just put it on, bro. Just get to work. Two hours of pure greatness.
I gotta make sure I listen to my favorite YouTube channels and my favorite AM 570 or AM 830 radio stations first.
But check this out. This is how I thought. My thoughts on Tom Brady on the Howard Stern show. Very interesting. Not gonna lie. Obviously, we know how Howard Stern is. He's gonna ask the questions that typically me and you, we would never ask any human being yet.
We're
not on that level yet.
Mm-hmm.
Not on that level yet. But it was great, dude. Like, you almost forget how hard it is to win 6 Super Bowls until he actually sits down and discusses the Super Bowls. Because Tom Brady don't do interviews. When was the
Right
last
now,
time Tom Brady did an interview?
that was the thing I was going to say, that I
He
didn't
don't do
realize
interviews.
how great of an interviewee Tom Brady is, because that's really the only interview
He does an interview, bro.
where he's really done. Well, that's not true, because he has done interviews before, but he's gotten in trouble for them because he's
Yeah,
usually been
exactly.
asked
Bro,
about the
he's on the Howard
Patriots.
Stern show, man. It's not even that's Sirius XM. There ain't no satellite radio where you can't drop no F-bombs. Dude, when I heard Tom Brady drop his first F-bomb on the Howard Stern show, all hell broke loose. I knew I was in for a good interview. I
I'll
knew
be
I was in.
I'll be
Chains
sure
were
to.
off. Tom Brady rolling, man. He was rolling. He asked a lot of good questions. Howard asked a lot of good questions. He asked about, obviously, his time in New England. Asked about his relationship with Billy. He even asked his relationship with Donald Trump, too. That was interesting, too.
I haven't
Wasn't
gone to
prepared
that.
for that.
I'll make sure I get to that for sure.
Huh?
I didn't hear about that. I'll make sure I get to that for sure. Yeah.
So basically,
Well, it is 2 hours.
He basically tried to set
It is a
Tom
2-hour long interview.
Yeah, man. That portion of it, the Trump interview, not the Trump interview, but the Tom Brady discussing about Donald Trump, it kind of happens towards the end middle.
Okay.
So,
Middle.
But
I thought it was funny that they started off Zooming it with Tom Brady, and then
they couldn't even get it to work.
Oh, I guess Tom Brady, because he's renting out an apartment or a house from Derek Jeter, according to the interview. I guess they don't have good Wi-Fi because
hey, I heard
the interview was cutting out, and they asked Tom to call from the landline, or at least the cell phone line.
Yeah, he talked on the landline for the duration of the interview. He also said in that interview that he could be potentially living there through his time in Tampa Bay.
He says he loves renting.
Hey, I mean,
I believe the quote.
Dude has freaking 5 houses elsewhere.
I believe
one
the
in
quote.
Boston.
It's true. I was gonna say I believe the quote is that why not rent? You get all the benefits without any of the worry. Check out the Tom Brady interview with Howard Stern if you want to hear the full quote and that full interview. Jordan, next week is the NFL draft. It is next Thursday.
We have a big show coming, man.
I wanted to ask you right here on this week's episode, do you want to put out a pre-draft show that comes like a pre-draft show, like an hour long?
Are we doing one round, or we're just gonna do the 1 round, right?
Oh yeah.
We're just gonna do the first round, second round, or just first round?
We could mock draft if we want, but I just wanted to get let's have a show where we talk about the draft for a solid hour. Just put that out. You know, it's just let's just do draft research, bring what we want to the table. You know, it could be who you want Pittsburgh to draft, honestly.
Or it could, or potential trades
that we can see happening. You know, everyone keeps saying that they think Detroit's going to trade out at number 3.
I'm gonna say this is a hot take right now. This is my hot take.
Hot take.
I'm gonna leave it like this.
Hot take. Hold on. Let me get the sound drop ready for this hot take.
Give me. I need the sound drop. I need everything.
You need the sound drop.
Give me a background.
You need the sound drop. Hold on, sir. Hold on.
I need to get my water for this one.
Oh. I'll get it again.
You ready for my hot take?
Yes, what is it?
J-Rex's hot take on the NFL draft is Joe Burrow will not, I say this again, will not be going to Cincinnati.
What?
Next week. Hot take.
What?
Hot take, my guy. If I'm right, I'm going to literally shit my pants.
How can you? Well, I mean, I can't get mad because it's such a hot take.
Think about it, bro. Think about it.
You think Cincy trades?
I'm gonna marinate on that one.
You think Cincy trades?
The question is,
or do they do
the question should be, who is going to trade for that first round pick?
If that first round pick is available, everyone will be trying to trade for it. Almost every
who in the top 5 needs a quarterback?
Miami.
Thank you.
So you think Miami is going to trade the Cincy?
Tua is, check this out. Tua has footwork.
So
Tua's hip is healing. Not saying Well, yeah, I am saying if Cincinnati somehow trades that pick and Miami jumps up, do you think Miami's still going to choose Tua over Joe Burrow?
No, they would not choose two over.
Exactly. Miami cannot do this again, man. They cannot mess up on another quarterback.
They can't.
They haven't even got one right. They still haven't. The last one they got right was Dante Culpepper.
That they got wrong because they could have signed Drew Brees.
Hey, you know what? He was okay for a little while.
A season.
Then he just sucked.
He was okay for a season in Miami. He was. Dante Culpepper had all his best years in Minnesota. He was only okay for like half a season in Miami. He also never fully recovered from his knee surgery.
Yeah, no.
And that is the same offseason choice. They chose Dante Culpepper, who tore his knee that offseason, over Drew Brees, who tore his
his
rotator.
Guy, though. I liked him.
Drew Brees, I believe, it's not even a question as to who's better, though, all time.
Not even a question, man. But yeah, that's my hot take,
Dolphins got that one, too. So
yeah,
that's
you got a hot take on it. You got a hot take on the NFL job, man. Could be about your Cowboys. It could be about our zone malfunction going down.
I know.
Hacking zone.
I know.
What's your hot take, bro?
My hot take.
Off the dome of your head, no research, just straight up. What you got?
Tua drops out of the top 10.
Damn. No way. No way. Man.
You act like that was crazier than yours.
Boy, you're making me yell in my neighborhood right now, and I'm sure everybody heard me just jump up and just casually walk away like I had no business on being on my laptop right now. You really think Tua dropping from the top 10? You really honestly believe that?
Oh, yeah. I could totally see it happening.
And who gonna get him? In the top, in the bottom, in the
thing is just
31.
You just think you have no doctors. It's the same reason that Cam Newton is not going to be picked up until all of this ends. You have no team doctors.
I'm ready for next week, bro.
With Tua.
So ready.
So no doctors can physically clear him except for his own. The teams want the team doctors to clear them before they draft. I think that's going to persuade enough teams to not draft him. They're going to go with the safer options who they know aren't injured.
I'm so shook right now, man.
There's my hot take argument. Next week, be ready for it. It is going to be dropping the day of the draft. That is the virtual NFL draft. Thursday. Expect it first thing. I would say first thing in the morning, but we're probably going to be recording it in the morning. So unless we can live stream by then, it'll be on by noon.
And you know what else? You know what else is going on next week too?
What's that?
We got the part 1 of the Michael Jordan documentary. I have been waiting for this for a long 2 years, man.
I've been waiting for this for a long 2 weeks with nothing else to watch on Netflix.
It's not going to be on Netflix. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. So shout outs to Disney Plus for connecting with ESPN Plus because that's how I'm going to be able to watch this, and I'm so thrilled. I don't even have cable, man, so I'll have to figure it out.
Well, we'll figure it
Well,
out.
man, this has been a damn good quarantine show. I'll give you that. I like
Great
this.
episode. Great episode.
Great bunch of information.
Shout out again to Chelsea Gonzales, former ASU shortstop, current second baseman for the Mexican national softball team that is going to be playing in the Olympics in July of 2021. And we assume
be sure to check her out. You will not trust. Be sure to check her out.
Yeah, it is. Her Twitter is C Gonzales 112 at C Gonzales 112 or 112, however you want to say it.
112, 1 to the 1, 1 to the 1.
Jordan, where can they reach us?
I am going to do my sign off. So I really loved sitting here with you today, man. We have nothing else to do. This has been a great quarantine episode. If you want to check me out, feel free to check me out. Rexy_X_95, all social media platforms. Yeah, that's about do it for my close off. What about you, my guy? How can they find you?
You can find me on both Twitter and Instagram, Alex_JR_Topete. You can also follow the show on Twitter at Puente and Topete Show. And be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. That is the Puente and Topete Show on YouTube as well. So make sure you do that. There's going to be there's buttons right here. Make sure you hit them. Hit them right there.
I think it's right here. I don't know.
They're going to be right there for sure. All right, Jordan.
All right, man. This has been fun. I appreciate sitting here with you today to discuss all things softball. Anything we might have forgot within the week that we are been at home quarantine.
Yeah. Big thing is we want to provide and
make
just
sure
an
you're
escape.
doing good at work, man. Stay safe at work, brother.
Trying our best, if I told myself if we keep doing this every week, that people will be able to see I'm doing okay.
Salute to you. Exactly. Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go, my guy.
There we go.
All right, man. So be sure to check us out next week. Until then, adios.
Signing off.